Hey everyone, welcome to the third and final part of the classic family Suburban. Honestly, I just sat down to edit this whole video really quick because I don't want to get behind on my posting schedule, and I realized how fast I can do the upstairs. Like, it's honestly quite shocking but also not at the same time, because once you do the bedrooms, like once you make a bed or something, like you get all the pillows aligned, you can kind of copy most of them here on out, and you can just kind of like, you can copy a lot of elements from all of the rooms that you do, so it goes a lot faster, but I was not expecting it to be this fast. I sat down to edit this whole video and I was like, wow, there's no more footage, this is the end. And I was very shocked because it's just very little, but again, I'm not very shocked because the upstairs, it always goes so fast. I can normally do like a couple of rooms in a day and go crazy with it because they are pretty swift and easy to do. But I don't know, I always feel like sometimes I lack in the upstairs department when I do my houses because it gets really repetitive and I get really bored of doing so many bedrooms. And I guess that's the fun of switching up the styles, because this bedroom that I'm working on right now is obviously, it wouldn't really match the rest of the house, I guess, because it is very pink and like girly, but like that's what bedrooms are, is you don't, unless it's a guest bedroom, like most of the bedrooms, they have their own personality for whoever lives in there. So I feel like it is appropriate to make the bedrooms however you see fit, because I mean, when you have kids, they get to normally pick their style or whatever, and like it's like their own personal place. So obviously there's different bedrooms and stuff that for different people, but that kind of keeps it more entertaining if you have like different styled bedrooms or switch it up, because then it doesn't get as repetitive, although it's still kind of repetitive because you just put a bed down and you can kind of copy it, and you're just constantly putting beds and nightstands and everything, so it gets really annoying to me. But I'm trying to work on like not hating every build once I've done it, and luckily with this build I did not really have that feeling like I normally do with builds. Like after I do like the main living spaces, I get like so sick of the build. I'm like, I already hate this whole build and I want to be done with it so bad that I kind of really rushed the upstairs. And I don't know if you notice it, but like for me, I guess I kind of notice it, that I don't know, I feel like I just don't put as much energy into the upstairs bedrooms as much as I should, because it just gets boring and I don't want it to be like that. But honestly with this house, I didn't really experience that, so I feel like I'm getting a lot better about being able to get over that whole thing and being sick of a build, because I don't know, I can never do it. But I feel like with this one I actually kind of cracked the code a bit, and I think it just takes a lot of practice and a lot of patience, and I think just building up my exposure, because I was able to do it really well with this build. But also I feel like this build was relatively fast for me to make. This house, I don't want to call it a filler house because it's not, but I like to call these kind of builds like houses that like they could be way better, but like they're also just kind of to get content out there to kind of start on the right foot. And doing simpler houses like this helps me get motivated again, because starting with a complicated house, for example like a Victorian, those houses obviously have so much detail, so much like creativity, so much everything. It's really stressful for me to do those kinds, especially when I'm just getting out of a slump of building. So doing like a suburban house definitely helps, at least me, get out of the building slump. But at the same time, I do like being creative, so like sometimes those like really fun detailed houses are really like creative and very stimulating to me, so it's kind of like a trade-off. But I do think I love doing like these kind of quicker builds, little quick Suburbans every once in a while, because they're easier for everyone to follow and build, and they just kind of make my life a little bit easier at times. But I definitely don't feel as creative doing them, because they're not really that creative in general. But yeah, I also kind of been learning that I feel like Bloxburg is moving, I don't know, I could be wrong, but I feel like Bloxburg's kind of moving to a more like unique place. Like before, I feel like Suburbans were always the hype, like always Suburbans. Oh, everyone just loves Suburbans and the very basic styles. But I feel like we are kind of branching out a little bit from the basic suburban houses. I don't know though. I feel like Suburbans are always kind of classic. You can never go wrong with Suburban, but I feel like people are starting to experiment more, and I've seen a lot more builds that are very unique and a lot of people love them, and I love them too, honestly. Like I feel like my style is definitely not Suburban or anything. I guess Suburban really isn't a style technically, but like I feel like you get what I'm trying to say. But I'm really trying to like embrace the uniqueness, I guess, of my style. And speaking of that, we got a new update and we got a lot of new mid-century furniture, which I am obsessed with. I love it so much. If you don't know that, I feel like I mentioned it a lot, but mid-century is my personal favorite style, or at least one of my favorite personal styles that I have. I don't know if it's like my favorite. No, it is my favorite, probably my favorite, but I like to mix a lot of different styles together because they just look better that way if you mix things up. But it's definitely one of my favorite styles, and so I was really excited to see that they added all that furniture. And I keep saying I want to make a mid-century house because it's my favorite style, so why wouldn't I make my favorite style house? And I feel like I keep saying it because since it is my favorite style, I don't want to mess it up. I want it to be absolutely perfect and like make it my dream house. And once I put the phrase dream house, I feel like that makes me scared because I am like, it has to be my actual dream house, and like it has to be so good. Like out of all my builds, it has to be the best one, and I'm just like scared to start that. But I do want to do it. And I want to do a video of like me building my dream apartment because I feel like that's a little bit more manageable too, because apartments are obviously smaller. You don't have to worry about the exterior unless you have an exterior of your apartment done. But I don't know. I keep putting it off just because I don't know, like what is my, like I know my style, but like actually doing it and then like posting it, like I feel like it has to be so perfect because like I don't want you guys to judge my style and say it's bad or something. I'm kidding. I don't really care, I guess, because it's like my style. It's not your style, so you don't have to love my style, but I would just think it'd be kind of fun. And I love to see people's styles and how like what people's favorite stuff is. And I feel like it'd be really fun to just do that because I think it's just really fun to see like what people actually like versus what they normally build, because I build a lot of Suburbans and a lot of these other styles, but in reality, like if I wouldn't really live in, like I wouldn't pick out these styles and live in them. I mean, I still love them, don't get me wrong, I love all of my builds, but they're just like, if I was to build my own house or design my own house, for me, I just wouldn't do it. Like what I've done so far. So yeah, it'd be kind of fun to like actually see what I like would want to do in Bloxburg for my dream house, but it's still scary. But that's why I'm like so happy with the mid-century update, because it's just so cute. And I don't know how much like Bloxburg, just like generic people that just do like role plays, like know about like interior design terms, but I feel like mid-century is not as popular as like Victorian or modern farmhouse or like farmhouse in general. And I don't know though, but like I feel like mid-century, like if you're in the design industry, like you obviously know what mid-century is. It is a very popular style, and I feel like a lot of people love it, but I don't know if like just like people who just play the game for playing the game's sake, like they don't build, or maybe they just role play. I don't know if people like know like mid-century that much, so I'm just glad that they added it and kind of bringing attention to mid-century modern style. And again, I know people like know what that is, but I just don't know like how many people like actually know, because I just feel like it's not as popular as like some of the styles that you see a lot in Bloxburg. Like you don't see a ton of mid-century builds like all the time. Like I don't see a ton in speed builds, which is also another reason why I feel like I've been putting it off a lot, because it's not as like a popular style, at least in Bloxburg. But again, it is like my favorite style, so I think it's worth it. And I think that they're adding this furniture. It's like, what better time than to build a mid-century house? And I've also been seeing a lot of your comments, and I've seen a lot of them talk, or a couple of them. I don't know if it's a lot, but like a couple of you have mentioned mid-century, and that just makes my heart happy. So I definitely want to do that fairly soon. I'm not sure because they have kind of a lot of plans. And I also did ask you in a community post build ideas for me, because I'm just curious of like what people like want to see from me, and I have no shortage of build ideas. Like, I just want to make that clear. I have no shortage of build ideas. I have so many ideas, but I was just kind of curious to like what people like actually want to see from me the most, because I don't know, like I feel like Bloxburg is kind of like shifting into a place that we're going for more uniqueness, more diverse styles, and I've been just seeing a lot more like popular builds that are just very unique, and I'm really glad we're going that way because I love unique and creative builds. So I'm kind of glad that you like a lot of the comments under that community post were also pretty unique, and so I'm excited for that, and I really appreciate if you gave any feedback to what you want to see. I'm obviously gonna leave that post up forever, so just leave me comments, whatever you want to see, and even just like comments on my YouTube video. It doesn't have to be that post, but like anywhere. I normally read all my comments, or at least lately I have. Sometimes when I'm inactive I don't read them because I don't even want to like think about it at all, but I've been reading a lot of your comments lately, so I love any input and things that you guys want to see from me, you want me to do. And I'll tease a little bit of things, but I loved your guys' ideas, and they definitely made me like realize what people kind of want to see. And I know there was one comment of someone said that I should do like a challenge video of like recreating my old speed builds, and I just think that's a good idea. I don't know, I'm really excited to do that build, but I'm like too excited to do that now that I feel like I don't want to start it because I want it to be perfect, and I want, you know, it to do good on YouTube, and I don't know if it's like the right time right now to do it, but like when is the right time to do anything? I mean, there's never really a right perfect time, but I think it'd be so fun just because I have all of my old speed builds up and everything, and I just think it'd be really funny to recreate. And I already like, I've been kind of saving ideas. I obviously haven't started it at all, but like I think that's a great idea. So thank you to whoever commented that. And I think a lot of you guys said like modern, which I haven't done in a while either, so that's kind of fun. And I forgot a lot of the comments, but I have like a ton of screenshots of all of the comments that people were requesting, and I think it's going to be just super fun to like get through them and start doing more commentary challenges. I keep saying I want to do them, and I feel like I talk about it in every voiceover, but I really do. I'm just super intimidated and scared by them because like I feel like I like editing them. I think it's fine, but I'm like scared to like, what if I film the whole video and I hate how it turns out, and then you have to scrap the whole footage or whatever. I'm just like nervous to like mess up, which I guess is like normal because that's just what happens. But also I'm just like a little bit scared because that's just like a completely new content shift for me, and I feel like Bloxburg, it's not declining, but I just feel like right now we're at a standstill. Like, people are still in school, people don't have as much time right now to be doing Bloxburg, and I'm waiting for like the spring and the summer where people are like really active and they want like coastal houses, and like, yeah, Bloxburg summer is so fun because not only is like the community is just like so active, I feel like, because there is no school and stuff, but it's always just so fun because I love the coastal houses, summer update. It's so fun. So I don't want to say I'm waiting till summer because that's when like Bloxburg seems to peak a lot and stuff, but I don't know, I'm just like really scared. I just feel like that's my excuse, is like anytime I'm scared to do something I always say like, well, I'll do it later, and then it's like I never do it because I'm constantly saying I'm going to do it and constantly waiting for the perfect time, but like it doesn't matter. And I feel like because no matter what, it is a different thing that I've ever posted on my channel basically. I like I know it's gonna be like, not everyone's gonna want to watch it because my channel is, I've never really posted that before, so I guess I can't really expect too much anyways from the whole video. So like, what am I waiting for? But I'm kind of excited to do more challenges because I think they're just like really fun, and I have so many like challenge ideas. It's just a matter of like actually doing them and sitting down to do them, and like editing them is a lot more painful and hard. And I feel like once you just do one challenge video though, you kind of like, you get a lot more confident, and just by doing anything you just get more confident. So like, that's just, I'm saying it right now, and it's like my lesson, and it's also like your lesson. Like, just do it. Like, if you have anything that you aren't doing, just do it. And because you're not gonna improve by not doing anything, so like, you might as well do it. It's not gonna be perfect the first time you do it, and you'll just, the more you do it, the more practice you'll get, and the better, faster results you'll get. And I'm telling that to myself right now because I needed to hear that, and maybe you needed to hear that too. Take everything I say with a grain of salt. I'm not ever telling people to do certain things, but if it resonates with you, take it. If not, don't. I just don't want people to get the wrong impression that I'm telling them to do something. If you don't like what I say, then you don't have to listen to it. Simple as that. But like, it's not that deep, I don't think. Hopefully not. But anyways, I've been planning a couple builds. One that I'm building for my friend. I don't know if I mentioned it before. I don't want to reveal the aesthetic, but I will say that it is very trendy right now, and I'm really excited for it. But as I was like planning this build out, I've been listening to a ton of like SpongeBob music, and it's just like actually so fun. Like, I've been kind of getting bored of my music lately, but like, I've been putting on SpongeBob music, and for some reason it's like really just calming and like fun to listen to. And it's like also very nostalgic if you've ever like watched SpongeBob as a kid. And I feel like you would think that it's like, oh, like SpongeBob music, like that seems kind of like what are you, a kid? But no, it's like very Hawaiian, very beachy, and it's getting me through this like seasonal depression until the summer. So I love the SpongeBob music, and it randomly came up on my like YouTube recommended page a couple of days ago, and I was like, that looks kind of fun. So I just like played it once, and I was like, oh, actually, like this is kind of fun. And I've just been listening to SpongeBob music and planning this build for a couple of days now. And I'm also very excited to say that this build I have finally finished planning. I kind of like thought it'd be easy, which like it was kind of easier to plan than other builds, but at the same time I feel like I want it to be perfect. Like, whenever I build for friends, it always has to be even more perfect than like what I normally do. And I feel like nothing was like hitting the right spot. And like, knowing me, I literally respect so many other builders for doing this, but I need to know like what I'm building like beforehand. And like, I'm not just saying like, okay, I'm gonna build a suburban house. Like, I need to know the floor plan, how it's gonna look, the colors, because when I don't do that and I'm like, okay, it's fine, I'll just figure it out when I do the speed build, it's like so messy, and I get so frustrated because I'm like, oh, I think I know what I want. Like, it'll work out, it'll be perfect. And then I do it, and it's like, it doesn't look how I envisioned, and I get really pissed off. And then the whole speed build, it just is all messy because I had changed my mind 1,000 times. And I'm not saying I don't still do that. I still do it even when I plan out builds. But like, sometimes I plan out a build and I'm like, okay, perfect, figured out the floor plan, figured out what I want, and then I start building it, and it just like, for some reason it doesn't look the way I want. And so I kind of really have to invest a lot of time and extra energy and money into planning out all these builds. Like, no one will ever see the extra work that goes into planning all of these builds, at least for me, because I know a lot of other creators, like, they can just find something, and then once you find that like perfect like inspiration picture or whatever, it all like falls in their lap perfectly, and it looks so good. And I'm like, how do you do that? I can never do that. I've tried so hard, but I just, it's just, everyone's different, and I just can't, I guess, do that. They definitely have a lot of skill if they can just say, oh, that looks good, and go from there. But I certainly have to play around with the whole things a little bit more, like everything, to figure out the perfect thing. Because also I'm always the person that I build something like, what if I did this instead? And I have to like know like what if, because like then I can rule it out as an option. I don't think it's the most efficient way of my time, and I think in the real world, in the industry, you don't have time to say, let me just try every possible option, because that's just like not very professional. Like you don't have the time for that. But so it's not realistic, but I spent like the last couple days of this, like planning this house, and the first day I'm like, okay, perfect, I found this layout, like this is gonna be perfect, I'll just change it a bit when I actually record it. And then I was like, no, it's not perfect, I need to change something. So I've been like playing with so many different elements of this house for a long time, and like I think it's just, I feel like I'm getting a lot better about the whole thing, and like mixing up houses and not like copying the whole exterior or like anything like that. But I've had a lot of fun, like actually this time, like playing around, like what if I did this instead, what if I tried this, and it's been really fun. But I'm just like so happy, because I think today I finally figured out exactly the perfect thing to do. Like I'm really happy with it, and I even did the layout, so I know it's gonna work out well. But yeah, I'm just super excited to finally start this project. I've been planning it for a while, kind of like I've always wanted to do this, and I'm finally getting around to doing it, and I'm just super excited for it to be done. But going back to the whole planning thing, I don't think people realize how much money I spend planning builds. It's ridiculous. It's not like I can just like, okay, here's the layout and I can like add from there. I have to figure out the colors, and obviously like I go through like 1,000 different color palettes and stuff, and that takes a long time, and I spend so much money on like different things. Like of this house I'm working on, I made like at least 8 different versions of the exterior, like just very slight different modifications of the exterior, and it was a lot of work, if you can imagine, but like also not, because once I kind of figured out like what characteristics I want, I can kind of like copy and paste and just, you know, add a little bit of different things here and there and just make a ton of different versions of everything. But it's still a ton of work, and I don't really recommend it to everybody or like, because it's just a lot of time and money that just gets kind of wasted, because I have this one plot that's like strictly only for testing builds and like seeing how I want them to like look. And this plot, because I have like 3,000 versions of like a ton of different houses, it's like almost $1 million, which is crazy, because this plot is full of nonsense, full of absolute nonsense. Like there is nothing like normal about that plot whatsoever. There's like just like a ton of just homes that are like half, not even like just the front of the house done, and they all look just so weird. And I think it'd be really funny to do like maybe at the end of this year. I don't know, I've been wanting to do this video for a while, but I feel like I recently just started kind of like collecting plots kind of recently, like a year or two ago. So I feel like I just simply don't have enough plots to show yet, but I want to do one of those videos where you show all of your plots, and I just think it'd be really fun and interesting, because there are so many builds on my plots that no one has ever really seen, because they are just like planning builds, or like let's just play around, and I don't know if I'll like it. And normally I scrap them, but they're still there. Like when I scrap them, I don't delete them usually, because I'm like, what if I come back and I like it or something? Or if I need some inspiration, I know I already did it, so like it's kind of comforting in a way. But I just think it'd be a really fun, interesting video to show all my plots. I don't have like a ton, and I kind of share a lot of my plots with like a ton of builds. I don't know, they're all kind of like, I have a lot of builds, but they're all kind of on the same plot-ish, because I don't want to like buy a ton of plots for just nothing. But at the same time, I love buying new plots. It's like really fun. And I never like had that luxury until recently, because I don't know, I just like never had like the Bloxburg to do it, I guess. And now it's like really fun. I love having new plots. Like, I don't know, it's something about it. But let me know if you guys would want that video at the end of the year, because I feel like by the end of the year I'd have a lot of plots that I could show, and I always think it's like interesting to see what people like have on their plots, because you always know that like you only see a fraction of what people actually have on their plots, probably, at least for me, because I probably have like 5 finished builds, maybe less, no, 5 or 6, maybe like 5 builds that are like completely done that are speed builds, but then I have like another half of them, like 5 or 4 more that are like completely like haven't seen the light of day, and they might not ever be finished, which is kind of why I'm like, it would be interesting to just post it, because I might not finish these builds. So what am I waiting for? Why am I saving these builds if I'm never going to post them? So I don't know, maybe stay tuned for that video at the end of the year, but I definitely have been wanting to do that video for a while, and that's actually why I started saving my plots more, because I wanted to post a video like that, and I thought it'd be super interesting. So let me know if you want that. And yeah, but I think I'm going to log off the voiceover now, because I have to go eat dinner, and I will see you guys in the next build or challenge video. We will see. I'm not 100% sure when the whole schedule thing's gonna figure itself out, but I will see you guys in the next video. Bye! Bye!